With the Deadpool and Wolverine Super Bowl trailer being released the other day, I thought it would be a good time to predict what will be the biggest movie of 2024. Last year, Barbie surprised everyone and topped the worldwide box office, making $1.4 billion. The Super Mario Bros. Movie made $1.3 billion, and Oppenheimer $983 million. This year, we've got the aforementioned Deadpool and Wolverine, Dune Part 2, Furiosa, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, Joker 2, and Godzilla X Kong, to name a few. Now, starting off with what I think will be the 5th highest grossing movie this year, we've got Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes.
Legend says ape and human live side by side, impossible as that may seem.
Set 300 years after the events of the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, or Kingdom as I will now shorten it to, follows the journey of Noah as he battles against Proximus Caesar. Noah and Proximus have a clash of ideologies as to whether to enslave humans or work with them. Rise, Dawn, and War for the Planet of the Apes from Out of Nowhere became one of the best trilogies in recent years, with each film building off of the previous installment, culminating in the fantastic War for the Planet of the Apes. It looks like Kingdom will be closer to the late 60s, early 70s original films. The Planet of the Apes reboots made between 470 to 710 million, and I imagine that Kingdom will have a worldwide box office of around this, maybe 500 to 600 million. Will it have incredible CGI and motion capture wrapped inside a thought-provoking story? Most definitely. But will Kingdom be the highest grossing movie of the year? Most definitely not. Number 4. Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire.
Kong, Godzilla, they can feel it too. Something is coming.
Continuing on from the completely mental MonsterVerse films of the last decade, Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire, yes, that is the actual name of the film, follows, well, Godzilla and King Kong, funnily enough. The plot of the movie is that the two titans will team up and fight an ancient evil, aka Scar King, aka another giant ape. Godzilla X Kong will primarily take place on Skull Island and dive deep into the origins of the Hollow Earth and the historical titan battles that took place there. Now, will it be a well-written, impactful piece of filmmaking like Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? No. But as we can see from the trailers, it's going to be mayhem. Imagine Transformers, but with less irritating human characters. What Godzilla X Kong: The New Empire has also got in its favour is that Godzilla Minus One received high praise from critics and fans alike. And although not set in the same cinematic universe as The New Empire, it certainly helps that the Godzilla brand is probably the strongest it's ever been over the last few decades. 2014's Godzilla and 2017's Kong Skull Island both made over $500 million. There was a drop-off with 2019's Godzilla King of the Monsters making just under $400 million. Godzilla vs Kong, yes, that is a different name from the previous films I mentioned, made $468 million. With that in mind, and the fact that New Empire has a relatively unopposed theatrical run, I predict the movie will make between 450 to 650 million at the box office. Number 3. Joker 2.
When you bring me out, can you introduce me as Joker?
Joker Folie à Deux, the sequel to the highest grossing R-rated movie of all time, 2019's Joker. Folie à Deux is French for insanity or delusion shared by two people. Joker outperformed even the most optimistic box office forecasts, and with Joaquin Phoenix's return after an outstanding performance in Joker, Joker 2, as I'm sure many will call it, is highly anticipated. With Lady Gaga joining Phoenix, the film looks to be a twisted, romantic, dark thriller. Oh, sorry, it's actually a musical. However strange this choice of genre may seem, narratively, this does fit in with the theme of the unreliable narrator, which was front and centre to 2019's Joker. That being said, Joker 2, being a musical, and a comic book R-rated musical at that, does perhaps narrow down the percentage of the movie-going public that would watch a film on release. If the first few reviews are as positive as Joker's, and a word of mouth is good, then Joker 2 will certainly be making over 500 million. But in my view, its R-rated genre, plus director Todd Phillips's rather poor record of making sequels, lends me to believe that Joker, Folie, Deux will make substantially less than the original Joker. Number 2. Dune Part 2.
This is a form of power that our world has not yet seen. The ultimate power.
Delayed due to COVID, and then delayed further due to the writer and actor strikes, Dune, or June, depending on how you pronounce it, is set to come out on March 1st. Part 2 of Denis Villeneuve's adaptation of Frank Herbert's novel is one of the most anticipated movies over the last few years, especially with the abrupt ending of Dune Part 1 in 2021. Adding Austin Butler, Florence Pugh, and Christopher Walken to an already stacked cast has only increased the excitement around the movie. Dune Part 1 made just under 400 million at the box office, which is actually an incredible number, considering that Warner Bros. Made the movie available on HBO Max the same day as its theatrical release. When I watched Dune on its release day at my cinema, we were told to keep our PPE masks on throughout the movie. Remember those? I say this to remind us of how Dune Part 1's box office was so affected by the virus. The response from our governments at the time, and the fear that many had, not wanting to go out after months of being told to stay indoors. This makes it hard to predict what Dune box office may be. I'd put it anywhere between $700 to $1 billion. Working against Dune Part 2 is that there's been quite a prolonged wait between the initial Dune and Part 2. This can mean that the initial excitement for the second half of Villeneuve's adaptation could have died down. Number 1. Deadpool and Wolverine.
Mr. Wilson, you appear to have soiled yourself while unconscious.
I wasn't unconscious. Who are you?
The movie I believe will make the most money at the box office this year is of course Deadpool and Wolverine. The assumed R-rated movie, although this rating hasn't actually been confirmed yet, completes the Deadpool trilogy, this time taking place inside of the MCU. Now there's a lot going in this film's favour as to why I believe it will be the highest grossing movie, and so the biggest movie of 2024. That being said, there are a few reasons why perhaps Deadpool's success is not an absolute foregone conclusion. The Deadpool franchise established Ryan Reynolds as an A-lister, and since Deadpool 2's release over 5 years ago, Reynolds has only added to his star power, primarily by buying a non-division football club from Wales. As the title of this film makes abundantly clear, we've also got Hugh Jackman as Wolverine joining Wade Wilson. The trailer has already broken records and has now been viewed over 365 million times across all social media platforms. The MCU, despite its struggles of late, still has some serious pulling power, and the most comparable movie to Deadpool and Wolverine would be another MCU film, Spider-Man No Way Home, where the three Spider-Men came together under the plot pretense of the multiverse. That movie grossed just under $2 billion, making it the 7th highest grossing movie of all time. Deadpool and Wolverine, if it's a great movie and the marketing is done right, which so far it has been, I believe the film can climb into the $1 billion to $1.25 billion mark. Now, as mentioned, there are a few reasons why I think Deadpool and Wolverine may not hit the lofty heights of a $1 billion plus box office. Firstly, the MCU is nowhere near its peak, with Quantumania, The Marvels, Eternals, and Thor: Love and Thunder being some of the franchise's most recent movies. Also, Deadpool and Wolverine is most likely going to be an R-rated movie. Joker is the only R-rated movie to break the $1 billion ceiling. proving that they do struggle to reach box office levels of less graphic PG-15 and PG-12 rated films. That being said, last year Oppenheimer almost made $1 billion. So perhaps the R rating is not as much of a turn-off as it used to be to general audiences. Deadpool 1 made $781 million, and Deadpool 2 made $786. I believe Deadpool and Wolverine would be seen as a slight failure if it did not exceed these box office totals by at least $200 million. Considering all the hype around the film, a release date of July the 24th, and only Borderlands as possible box office competition, which comes out on August the 9th. I believe it's a safe bet to say that the biggest film in 2024 will be Deadpool and Wolverine. Now I'd like to know, which of these films are you most excited for? Do you disagree with the order of my top 5? Or do you think a movie that I haven't mentioned will be high up on the box office charts come the end of the year? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, then consider subscribing to the channel. I release videos every week covering the best films and shows around, as well as box office focused videos like this one. If you really like the video, then the best way to support the channel and get involved with future content is by becoming a member and joining Film Club. Thank you for watching, and see you again.